about confession, and I hand out these sheets, and I talk to the kids, and I want to convince them this is a smart way to go.
I mean, if you're looking at that verse and you're wondering, well, is contraception a sin? And who am I going to listen to?
That's right.
Well, you've got churches on every block in a city that have different opinions on whether it's right or wrong, whether they need to do or not. I even remember when I was in seminary, there was a book going around encouraging us to not only use but to promote contraception as a responsible way of controlling your family until you're ready.
Let me respond to that,
Yeah.
because sometimes we don't realize truth for quite a while. And I will admit, I understood clearly the teaching on abortion. Abortion is clearly evil. I did not understand, even after I was Catholic for a while, about contraception. But if you look at what's going on in the world, see, the guidelines of the church are not just for personal happiness and salvation. They are also for the salvation of the country, the nation, and the people of God.
Yeah.
Paul VI, when he issued that encyclical, was so, he saw things, or the church saw things. And Karol Wojtyła, who sent him document on that from Krakow, saw that. Now we're seeing the death of Europe because we're contracepting ourselves into oblivion. We no longer have the workers to work. Thank God in this country the immigrants are mostly Hispanic, and if they're not Catholic, they're Baptist, which means they're Christian.
Yeah.
Most of the immigrants into Europe are Muslims whose goal it is to conquer us. And we are committing sociological death in rebellion against the teaching of the church because we want to embrace contraception and all of the different evils that brings. And so I just sit back now and I say, holy Toledo, how did the Pope know that? Maybe he was inspired.
Of course, now the biggest virtue is to be tolerant. I don't want to be intolerant. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable.
Let me make a comment to that, because Bishop Corrada, who took my case, good Jesuit, one time I was sitting with him and he said, you know, tolerance is not a Christian virtue. Tolerance is a civic virtue. Tolerance is not a Christian virtue. We're not called on to tolerate evil. We're called on we're called on to oppose evil. And we haven't done a very good job of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get you into conflict.
We have an email.